Hey, what's going on? So this is just a little kind of a video I'm doing for a guy in one of my Facebook groups who wants to build an Inzektor deck, and I have an Inzektor deck, and so I'm just gonna kind of go through some of the what's the main stuff, and then what's some other options that you can go with. So first, main stuff, the stuff you actually absolutely have to have. Okay, 3 Inzektor Dragonflies. This is like the best card in the deck. 3 Inzektor Centipedes. These are what you're gonna search with your Dragonfly 9 times out of 10. 3 copies of Inzektor Hornet. You might be able to get away with just 2, but 3 is definitely the way you want to go. 2 copies of Inzektor Ladybug. This guy is awesome because he works a lot like Dragonfly, where his own effect can be used to send him off, which will activate the Centipede or the Dragonfly effects. 1 copy of Inzektor Gigamantis. And that's kind of it for the main Inzektors that you're going to want to use for sure. I personally enjoy Inzektor Giga Cricket as well. A lot of people also really enjoy Inzektor Hopper. I know I've seen a lot of decks that run 2 Inzektor Hoppers. I just don't personally like Inzektor Hopper, so I don't. Alright, now pretty much every Inzektor deck you're going to see out there that's finding success is going to be main decking Effect Veilers. I main deck 2. I know a lot of people main deck 3, so either way. Dark Arm Dragon is absolutely amazing in Inzektors because they're all dark, and because of your ability to pull them back out of the graveyard, you can control your graveyard really well, so Dark Arm is awesome. Sanguine is pretty much a no-brainer just because of the fact that, I mean, it's a staple for pretty much every deck out there, but it's a dark level 3, so that just makes it extra awesome. Armageddon Knight is a wonderful card for Inzektors because you can just send a Inzektor Hornet right to the graveyard when you summon it, which will speed up the whole process, all your combos a lot faster. Another one that I don't personally run, but I've seen a lot of people that do and is really good, is Card Trooper, because it'll mill 3 into your graveyard. It's level 3, so you can do the overlaying, and when it gets destroyed, you can draw a card, so that's pretty cool. I use a Plague Splitter Zombie because I still like the Synchro Summon a little bit. Genex Ally Birdman is another awesome tuner that you can use in Inzektor decks, just because of the fact that once again it's level 3, and a really cool combo is you can summon that Dragonfly, use his effect, Hornet, Loop, special summon the Inzektor Cricket, or excuse me, Inzektor Centipede, and then use Genex Ally Birdman to bring the Dragonfly back to your hand, and then you can use the Cricket to search for, or the, I keep saying Cricket, you can use the Centipede to search for something else, and then you still have the Dragonfly in hand, which normally you're going to want to use Centipede to search for another Dragonfly, so you can do the loop again. So that'll let you just speed up a little bit more, and gives you a tuner, so more options. Beatron is one of the new cards out of Overlord, and I really like it. By destroying a face-up card in your back row, you can special summon an insect-type monster, so I use this to just go through my loops more times over. That's not as nearly as popular of a choice, but that's one of my choices. Another choice that I don't have in here because I just don't personally care for it as much as Gores, and Gores is really great to stop the OTK that can be coming from a lot of the modern decks. Onto the spell lineup. Obviously you're going to want your Monster Reborn, Dark Hole, Heavy Storm, Foolish Burial. And when I say Dark Hole, that's actually not completely true, because I know a lot of people actually don't run Dark Hole in their Inzektor decks, so you can always, if you're going to drop one, that's probably the one to drop. Allure Darkness is kind of a must because it's a great just draw engine for dark monsters. Pot of Duality also, most people run 2 Pot of Dualities in the Inzektor decks. Okay, this next one, I have 2 copies of Inzektor X Zeta Hawk. The only reason that these are in here right now is because I don't have my 2 Inzektor swords yet. I'm waiting on them. So these will actually get switched out for Inzektor swords once I get them. But 2, 3 Inzektor swords is awesome. The Inzektor axe, Zetahawk, you know, it can be useful. So if you know you can only get hold of one sword, you know, maybe you run one axe, because it can still get the benefit of attaching, and then if it gets destroyed, you can get the dragonfly effect or the centipede effect, which is really what you want to be going off. And then 3 copies of Mystical Space Typhoon is absolutely amazing here. Sometimes you use it to blow up your own cards so that you can get more special summons and more searches, so that's great. Solemn Judgment is just a great all-around card, so I recommend that. I also recommend pretty much all the time now 2 copies of Torrential Tribute, because it's at 2. I know I'm allowed 3, but I'm only going to be running 2 copies of Call of the Haunted personally. That's a tech choice. I have seen other people in Inzektors run 3, so no harm in follow there. And a lot of people like, you know, there's a lot of kind of playtesting going on right now. Personally, I'm liking these, so I'm using 2 copies of Compulsory Evacuation Device. I took 2 copies of Solemn Warning out of my main deck for these 2 guys and put them into my side deck. A lot of people also like Bottomless Trap Hole. There's nothing wrong with any one of those 3. They all have their pluses and their minuses. Onto my extra deck. The big extra deck stuff that you're going to want to look for is, well, in the Inzektor line, Inzektor Stag and Inzektor Exobeetle. These guys are really great because you can do some really cool combos with the Gigas, and these guys are actually awesome for taking your opponent's monsters away from them. So if your opponent has a boss monster out there, these guys can be awesome for that. Levier the Sea Dragon is by far my favorite Xyz monster in this deck, just for the fact that you can use tricks to remove things like your Dragonfly from play, and then take an overlay unit from this to special summon the Dragonfly and start the loop again. He's rank 3, so it's pretty easy to summon in this deck. Some other rank 3s that I like to use are also Leviathan, which is pretty much a standard. Everybody plays this card, and I don't blame them. Acid Golem of Destruction, once again a rank 3, so that's pretty easy to summon with Inzektors because they're pretty much all rank 3s. And Giga Brilliant, once again rank 3. That's a light. I like to go into a Chaos side deck. There's also some pretty cool Chain Burn side decks. 1 copy of Utopia. That's just because, just in case the level 4 comes up, I want to be able to pull a rank 4. I play Underground Arachnid as an option in here. It's actually pretty easy to summon because all my tuners, as you saw, with the exception of the Effect Veilers, which I don't really use them to tune, are going to be darks, and so it's pretty easy to summon him. And he has a cool Relinquished-esque effect that lets you take control of your opponent's monsters. So that's just wonderful to once again just take control. I love taking control of my opponent's monsters personally. Kind of got some standards in here. I got my Stardust Dragon, got my Bryonic, Black Rose Dragon, Catastor. I actually have 2 level 5s in here. I run Magical Android, and that's because I have a lot of people in my area running Stallburn decks, and so just attack. Scrap Dragon, he's personally my favorite Synchro monster that's out there, so I always keep him around for a little added destruction. And finally, Ancient Fairy Dragon. I'm running this right now in place of an extra rank 5 because I haven't got my rank 5 that I'm waiting on in the mail yet. So this is just a really cool card that I like. I'll actually be side decking this, but I just like it for taking out like the Dark World matchups and basically anyone who's using field magic. I actually came up against a Dragoonity deck that was running the Dragoonity field spell card, and that helped out with that too. So anyway, there's some tips. I hope that helps out, Harrison. Peace.